Speaking of domestic concerns, you've said that you don't think Biden's going to even make it to the election. You've also talked about banking crises, and you've said, and you kind of alluded to that now, that internally America has serious problems in the next 12 months. Can you expand on that?
Nassim Taleb, some of your viewers will know who he is. Yeah. Very brilliant man.
Yeah.
He was the man that developed this whole concept of the black swan event that is mentioned routinely these days. And just a couple of days ago, he was asked similar questions, and he talked about the potential for financial instability and collapse, another return to what happened in 2008, only worse, because we could not necessarily bail out everyone 100% on the dollar as we did back in 2008. He talked about the fact that we've been using monetary policy to address serious structural problems. You know, if you've exported your manufacturing base and you've walked away from systematically exploiting and developing agriculture to the extent that we can, if you've abandoned the energy sector, and let it atrophy so that we've got a handful of refineries, whereas years ago we had several hundred, then you're setting yourself up for an inevitable failure. And somebody said, well, when is this all going to happen? When will it happen? He said, I don't know. They said, well, this could go on for 5 years or another 10 years before the end. He said, well, it seems unlikely. He said, I think it's in front of us. I think he's right. You know, he pointed out that if you look at the Federal Reserve in structural terms and in terms of what it has on its balance sheets, it looks a lot like the Silicon Valley Bank that just went out of existence. Now, the Federal Reserve moved quickly on that, and I'm glad they did. They forestalled a wider emergency, at least for the moment. But I think more of that is likely to come. And remember, all of our banks, small and large, and I think you've got this problem as well as many of our friends around the world and partners, we've sold a lot of people treasuries, which were always considered a good hedge, at very low interest rates. The interest rates are rising, and they're likely to continue to rise. People say, well, if it gets out of hand, the Fed can suppress it. But there's a growing chorus of people warning that may not be possible. So then suddenly you're paying in exorbitant prices to service your debt. I always point out that, you know, the British left India in 1947 when their debt to GDP ratio was 240%. That was largely because we bankrupted Great Britain during World War II, because the British essentially sold everything in order to participate in this war against Nazi Germany that ultimately turned out to be a great victory for Soviet Russia, but not for Great Britain. Well, the point is that the British experienced this, and they took in the facts, and they made a prudent decision. We've got to get out. And they got out. Well, that's what you're going to see happen to us, I think, in the near term. That's why I kind of referred to this business of adding Sweden and Finland or anybody else to NATO as well. You're buying a ticket, or a berth, if you will, on the Titanic, and it's already struck an iceberg. And they don't seem to get it. But we can't fund it all. We can't afford it all. The Europeans can't either, or they won't in many cases. So everything is going to change. But somebody said the other day, well, you know, nothing matters until it does. You know, it's back to something goes on until it can't. I mean, that's where we are at the moment. We know that we're crossing this rickety old bridge and that the bridge is destined to collapse. But everybody says, well, listen, it's held up this long. Let's continue to use it. Going to be god awful when that collapses.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. The greedy bankers are about to do it again. In 2008, they crashed our financial system and nearly bankrupted the entire global economy. Then they received trillions of dollars in government bailouts. And after, they demanded fat bonuses paid for by you, the taxpayer.
It turns out the banks haven't just been screwing the American taxpayers, they're also screwing over their investors. Turns out the banking industry is the worst place you could put your money, despite enormous taxpayer bailouts.
Now the bankers are back to take away your financial freedom. They lie and tell you that cryptocurrency isn't safe. They try to make it illegal for you to choose how to invest your hard-earned money. They lie and say cryptocurrency is used by money launderers and criminals. But look at the record. It's the banks themselves that launder hundreds of billions of dollars every year to the biggest criminal operations in the world.
Leaked documents have revealed how some UK banks have helped criminals, money launderers and Russians under sanctions.
American authorities discovered that the Sinaloa cartel moved $881 million through HSBC accounts as bank officials turned a blind eye to the illegality.
The bankers lie and say cryptocurrency is not a real investment. Meanwhile, the smartest CEOs in the world are buying billions and billions of it. The truth is that banks lie about cryptocurrency because it makes them scared. The banks take $9 trillion per year of your hard-earned money, and they are worried that they will finally be exposed. They're scared because crypto means they can no longer control your money, which means they can no longer control you. They are scared because you might actually understand your money and intelligently decide what to do with it. Now is the time for us to come together, fight back, and take control. It's time to educate ourselves, our families, and our communities. Because financial education means financial freedom. We know that cryptocurrencies will help us build the new decentralized financial system of the future. A banking system that is of the people, by the people, and for the people. A banking system where access to finance is a fundamental human right. A banking system that is free and fair and welcomes all humans on this earth. The DeFi revolution is happening. We, the people, can no longer be fooled. We choose to take control of our finances. We choose to take control of our freedom. We choose to take control of our future. Join us, and let's take back our financial freedom forever.